Hello everybody, welcome back to Leeton. My name's Jace and today is the big day. It is the potato harvest, the new potato, the second early, the Charlotte potatoes I put in pots in March. They've done 91 days, 13 weeks. They've flowered, all the ones that I've allowed to flower have flowered, and they're really starting to sort of wilt now, struggling to hold themselves up, and it's time to harvest them. So in March I did a video of how I planted these, and we're running an experiment. So we've got 2 pots over at the back with homemade compost, then we've got 2 pots with plain shop bought compost, then we've got 2 pots with shop bought compost and potato feed, and then 2 with shop bought and fish blood and bone. And there's 2 of each because there's 2 rows. This row nearest me, I took the flowers off, and the row at the back I let the flowers just grow and do their thing. And it's all about seeing which feed works the best, or which compost, and does removing the flowers make any difference at all to the yield? I don't know, we'll find out. So it's quite a small area. I'm going to struggle to get all this done here. I've got a scoreboard over there which I'll have to refer to throughout the video, and I've got the camera set up there where you are now. I'm going to get all this foliage removed and put into the compost before we start, because that's going to make life easier. And then I'll get the wheelbarrow set up where I am here, and we'll make a start. Okay, so we're going to go with the homemade compost first, because it's at this end, it's easier to work that way. And when you harvest your potatoes, don't throw them around, don't drop the bucket in the barrow and things like that, because you can bruise them and then they won't store so well. Now if this wasn't an experiment, I would harvest 1 bucket at a time and leave the rest in there. But because it's an experiment, I need to harvest them all at a time to make it fair. And at the end of the video I'll show you how I'm going to store these potatoes to get them to last longer, so that we can then come down and get them, take them up to the house and use them. Any that aren't looking so great will be put to one side at the end, and we'll use those first because they won't store at all. Right, let's get on with it. Homemade compost. And of course we've just had 2 evenings of heavy rain, so these are going to be really heavy, aren't they? Not too bad actually. Bucket down there for things that need to go in the compost. I'm actually quite nervous. I can see one there. That's one of the old seed potatoes. And there's another seed potato. Oh yeah, look at this, guys. Pleased with that. Sifted back through the compost, still finding them. Right, well, pleased with that. So let's see what it weighs. So got my scales, turn them on. Tear it with the bucket. Right. It's already calculated it. Hang on. And what we're going to have to do is weigh it and then take off the weight of the bucket. So I'm going to do it in kilos because that'll be easier to work out, and then I'll convert it to pounds at the end of the video. kilograms. $1.925. And that was homemade compost with no flour. I took the flowers off. Okay, so 1.925, so I'll write that on the board. And I'll do all the calculations at the end. I'll weigh this and I'll take this off the weights at the end and convert into pounds and show you. Okay, this one. So this is shop bought compost, just plain shop bought compost. same again. What's that saying? 1.615. Write that down. Whew. It's getting really hot, guys. Really sweaty because everything's so damp and it's hot. It's really close. So at the minute, Homemade is in the lead, but now we're on to shop bought compost that had additional feeds in them. So the one we're going to do next had potato feed in. Now I can see straight away there appears to be a lot more potatoes on the edge of the bucket. I'm sweating, dripping off me. And it's early in the morning, it's only about 9 o'clock. Okay. $1.775. And now for the final bucket on this row with fish, blood and bone. still recording there? Yeah. .7 dead. Alright guys, I'm just going to have a break, stop filming for a minute, charge my phone up again, have a drink, and we'll come back and we'll do the other row. So that was the row where I took the flowers off, and now we've got to do exactly the same on the other row where I let the flowers grow. Same compost and feeds and everything. So, see you in a minute. So the half-time results are, we've only done the no flower row. The flower row we've yet to do. Homemade 1.925. These are all kilos and they include the pot. I have yet to deduct the weight of the pot off of these figures. So homemade compost plain on its own 1.925. Shop bought compost plain on its own 1.615. Shop bought with potato feed 1.775, and shop bought with fish blood and bone 1.7. Okay, cooled down a bit, had some refreshments, and get on with the second row now. So plain homemade to start with. So I think that could be the winning pot, you know, but we'll see. $1.82. No, it's not the winning pot. $1.82. So next we're going with plain shop bought compost on its own, that's it. go. So another nice little harvest from there. $1.585. And now we're going to do shop bought compost with potato feed. Now there's a green one on the top there, obviously got light to it, but the plant still grew it, so I'm going to include it. 1.965. Oh, we have a new winner. We have a new winner. And then the last pot, which is shop bought compost with fish, blood and bone. Again, we've got a green one at the top, but I'll include it. Okay, right, let's get these weighed and then we can do some workings out. And these little ones are worth taking because you can just pan fry them, and we'll use these first, these tiny ones. Okay, 0. .840. Okay guys, just so there's no risk of anyone saying I'm cheating, the bucket weighs 0.14 kilograms. Okay guys, well, here's the results. So we'll do this row first, and this is after adjustments for all the weight of the bucket, and I've converted it to pounds as well. So we'll do this row, which was the row that I took the flowers off. So homemade at the end, 1.785 kilograms or 3.93 pounds. And then we've got plain shop bought compost, 1.475 kilograms or 3.25 pounds. Shop bought with potato feed, 1.635 kilograms, 3.6 pound. And then this one, shop bought with fish blood and bone, 1.56 kilograms, 3.43 pounds. Then if we go to the row where I let them flour, at the end, the homemade, 1.68 kilo, 3.7 pound. Plain shop bought, 1.445 kilograms, 3.185 pound. Then we've got shop bought with potato feed, 1.825 kilograms, 4 pound. And then we've got shop bought with fish blood and bone, 1.7 kilograms, 3.74 pound. So the winner is shop bought compost with potato feed at 1.825 kilo, 4 pounds, closely followed by homemade compost, plain homemade compost, at 1.785 kilos or 3.93 pound. I mean, they're almost identical, those two. They've all had the same amount of water. It's just this side was allowed to flower, that side wasn't. And I know they've had the same amount of water. I've actually counted in seconds using the same watering can every day or whenever I've watered them to make sure that they've all had exactly the same. So the winner is this one, shop bought compost with potato feed. And the loser, the worst, let's have a look, would be most definitely the shop bought compost on its own with no feed. Both of them, whether they were flowering or not, 1.475 kilos and 1.445 kilos. So plain shop bought compost was nowhere near as good as shop bought compost with additional feed or homemade. And which came third? Shop bought with fish blood and bone came third at 1.7 kilos. So I'm pleased that my homemade compost was up there, almost level with the winner, to be fair. And of course it isn't an exact science. This isn't a scientifically controlled experiment or anything. This is just me messing around in my garden. But it gives you an idea of what would be good to do next year. So next year I'm thinking I'm going to go homemade compost for all my potato pots. And because I've got pretty much identical results as one shop bought compost where I put a load of potato feed in it. So save the money on the potato feed and just use my homemade compost. So there we go, guys. I'm really pleased with the results, to be fair. And you know, we're a family of 3 at the moment, and I don't know, we've probably got at least a couple of weeks of evening meals there. You know, obviously with something else, it wouldn't just be potatoes, but at least a couple of weeks, I would think. So in total, I suppose I ought to add it all up really and work out what we got in total in weight. So I'll do that in a minute, and I'll show you how I'm going to store these for the next couple of weeks while we eat them, because obviously just leaving them in the house, they'll start to go green and horrible. So I'll show you what I'm going to do there as well. Okay guys, I've calculated everything now, so here is the scoreboard, and in total the row which I took the flowers off produced 6.45 kilograms or 14.2 pound. The row that I left the flowers on produced 6.65 or 14.66 pounds. So the row that I let flower did better than the row that I took the flowers off by about 0.2 kilos. So obviously in my book then taking flowers off is a waste of time, so that's proved that theory. And then in total we've produced 13.1 kilograms or 28.9 pounds of potatoes. So I'm quite pleased with that, and doesn't that look good? Okay, so to store these potatoes, first thing I'm going to do is take out any of the really small ones, and we're going to eat them first. I'm going to take them up to the house. So things that are this sort of size or smaller, they're going to go up to the house and we'll use them straight away. So I'll go through all the buckets, take them out, and then I'll come back and show you what we're going to do with the bigger ones. So to store these, what I'm going to do is get a spare bucket and put an inch or two in the bottom, just compost, the compost that I grew these in, and then I'm going to put the potatoes in, but making sure that they're not touching. Like so. And then making sure that there's no really damaged ones, nothing untoward. So like that, and then another layer of compost. Make sure that they're not touching anything, and then more potatoes. And I'm just going to layer them like that until I've got them all buried in the pots, and I'll probably get them all in a couple of these tubs. And this is the equivalent really of what we call a clamp, which is a pile of soil or straw or something like that in the garden where you bury your harvested crop. It might not be potatoes, it might be carrots, it could be something else. So just simple as that. Then another layer, and then I'll put this bucket in a cool, dark place, as cool as I can find at the moment with the weather, and probably the shed, out the sun. Keep it as cool as I possibly can. and we'll just come out every evening, get what we need, and yeah, just work our way down the buckets until we've eaten them all. Now make sure you're not putting any damaged ones or green ones or anything like that in here. And make sure they're not touching. Okay, now if I was going to be saving some of those for seed potatoes next year, then I would be pulling out ones about the size of a chicken's egg, good quality, nothing wrong with them, and then keeping them in, wrapping them in some newspaper, putting them in a cardboard box with some ventilation, and keeping them dark and cool, and they'd be good for seed potatoes next year then. But I'm not doing that because I've still got a lot of Charlotte in the ground, so when I dig those up I'm going to save those, and then I'm not having to save them as long. You know, it's probably going to be another couple of weeks before I dig those up. So thank you very much for watching, guys. Hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, please give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed already, please do, and follow us on our journey to become more self-sufficient. Thanks very much. I'll see you next time.